Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr., née Sinclair, born February 24, 1977, is an American professional boxer and boxing promoter. He is undefeated at 50-0. Mayweather won 15 major world championships spanning 5 weight classes, from super featherweight to light middleweight. This includes the Ring Magazine title in 3 weight classes. As an amateur, he won a bronze medal in the featherweight division at the 1996 Olympics, 3 U.S. Golden Gloves championships at light flyweight, and featherweight, and the U.S. National Championship at featherweight. After retiring from professional boxing in August 2017, he transitioned to exhibition boxing. As of July 2025, BoxRec ranks him the 3rd greatest boxer of all time, pound for pound. Mayweather was named Fighter of the Decade for the 2010s by the Boxing Writers Association of America, BWAA, and The Sporting News, a 2-time winner of the Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year Award, 1998 and 2007, a 3-time winner of the BWAA Fighter of the Year Award, 2007, 2013, and 2015, and a 6-time winner of the Best Fighter ESPY Award, 2007 to 2010. 2012 to 2014. In 2016, ESPN ranked him the greatest boxer, pound for pound, of the last 25 years. In 2024, they also ranked him the best boxer of the 21st century. In 2025, The Ring ranked him the greatest boxer, pound for pound, of the 21st century. He is referred to as one of the best defensive boxers in history. Since the existence of CompuBox, Mayweather is the most accurate puncher among professional boxers, having the highest plus-minus ratio in recorded boxing history. He has a tied record with Joe Louis of 26 consecutive wins in world title fights. He also holds 24 wins, 7 KOs, against former or current world titleists, and 8 wins, 3 KOs, against International Boxing Hall of Fame inductees. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in the class of 2021. Mayweather is one of the most lucrative pay-per-view attractions of all time in any sport. He topped the Forbes and Sports Illustrated lists of the 50 highest-paid athletes of 2012 and 2013, and the Forbes list again in both 2014 and 2015 as the highest-paid athlete in the world. In 2006, he founded his own boxing promotional firm, Mayweather Promotions, after leaving Bob Arum's top rank. He has generated approximately 24 million PPV buys and $1.67 billion in revenue throughout his career. In 2018, he was the highest-paid athlete in the world, with total earnings, including endorsements, of $285 million, according to Forbes. In November 2021, Sportico released an all-time athlete earnings list in which Mayweather ranked number 6 all-time, totaling an inflation-adjusted $1.2 billion in his career. Early life. Mayweather was born Floyd Joy Sinclair on February 24, 1977, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, into a family of boxers. His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., is a former welterweight contender who fought Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard. His uncles, Jeff and the late Roger Mayweather, were professional boxers, with the latter, Floyd's former trainer, winning 2 world championships, as well as fighting Hall of Famers Julio Cesar Chavez, Pernell Whitaker, and Kostya Tszyu. Mayweather was born with his mother's last name, but his last name would change to Mayweather shortly thereafter. His maternal grandfather was born in Kingston, Jamaica. He attended Ottawa Hills High School before dropping out. Boxing has been a part of Mayweather's life since his childhood, and he never seriously considered any other profession.
"I think my grandmother saw my potential first," he said.
"When I was young, I told her, I think I should get a job. She said, no, just keep boxing." During the 1980s, Mayweather lived in the Hiram Square neighborhood of New Brunswick, New Jersey, where his mother had relatives.
He later said, "When I was about 8 or 9, I lived in New Jersey with my mother, and we were 7 deep in one bedroom, and sometimes we didn't have electricity. When people see what I have now, they have no idea of where I came from and how I didn't have anything growing up."
It was common for the young Mayweather to come home from school and find used heroin needles in his front yard. His mother was addicted to drugs, and he had an aunt who died from AIDS because of her drug use.
"People don't know the hell I've been through," he says.
The most time that his father spent with him was taking him to the gym to train and work on his boxing, according to Mayweather.
"I don't remember him ever taking me anywhere or doing anything that a father would do with a son, going to the park or to the movies or to get ice cream," he says. "I always thought that he liked his daughter, Floyd's older sister, better than he liked me, because she never got whippings, and I got whippings all the time."
Mayweather's father contends that Floyd is not telling the truth about their early relationship. "Even though his daddy did sell drugs, I didn't deprive my son," the elder Mayweather says. "The drugs I sold, he was a part of it. He had plenty of food, he had the best clothes, and I gave him money. He didn't want for anything. Anybody in Grand Rapids can tell you that I took care of my kids." Floyd Sr. says he did all of his hustling at night and spent his days with his son, taking him to the gym and training him to be a boxer. "If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be where he is today," he maintains. "I basically raised myself," Mayweather says. "My grandmother did what she could. When she got mad at me, I'd go to my mom's house. My life was ups and downs." His father says he knows how much pain his incarceration caused his son, but insists he did the best he could. "I sent him to live with his grandmother," he says. "It wasn't like I left him with strangers." In the absence of his father, boxing became an outlet for Mayweather. As the elder Mayweather served his time, his son put all of his energy into boxing and dropped out of high school. "I knew that I was going to have to try to take care of my mom, and I made the decision that school wasn't that important at the time, and I was going to have to box to earn a living," he said. Amateur career. Mayweather had an amateur record of 84 wins and 8 losses, and won national Golden Gloves championships in 1993 at 106 pounds, 1994 at 114 pounds, and 1996 at 125 pounds. He was nicknamed Pretty Boy by his amateur teammates because he had relatively few scars, a result of the defensive techniques that his father and uncle, Roger Mayweather, had taught him. In his orthodox defensive stance, Mayweather often utilizes a variation of crab style, with the shoulder roll, an old-school boxing technique in which the right hand is held normally or slightly higher than normal, the left hand is down around the midsection, and the lead shoulder is raised high on the cheek in order to cover the chin and block punches. The right hand, as in the orthodox stance, is used as it normally would be, to block punches coming from the other side, such as left hooks. From this stance, Mayweather blocks, slips, and deflects most of his opponent's punches, even when cornered, by twisting left and right to the rhythm of their punches. 1996 Olympics. At the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, Mayweather won a bronze medal by reaching the semifinals of the featherweight, 57-kilogram division. In the first fight, Mayweather led 10-1 on points over Bakhtiar Teleganov of Kazakhstan, before winning when the fight was stopped. In the second fight, Mayweather outpointed Artur Gevorgyan of Armenia 16-3. In the quarterfinals, the 19-year-old Mayweather narrowly defeated 22-year-old Lorenzo Aragon of Cuba in an all-action bout to win 12-11, becoming the first U.S. boxer to defeat a Cuban in 20 years. The last time this occurred was the 1976 Summer Olympics, when the U.S. Olympic boxing team captured 5 gold medals. Among the recipients was Sugar Ray Leonard. In his semi-final bout against eventual silver medalist Serafim Todorov of Bulgaria, Mayweather lost by a controversial decision, similar to Roy Jones Jr.'s highly controversial decision loss to Park Si-hun at the 1988 Summer Olympics. The U.S. team filed a protest over the Mayweather bout, claiming the judges were intimidated by Bulgaria's Emil Jetchev, head of the boxing officials, into favoring the Bulgarian Todorov by a 10-9 decision in the 125-pound semifinal bout. 3 of Jetchev's countrymen were in gold medal bouts. Judge Bill Wackerly, one of the 4 U.S. judges working the games for the International Amateur Boxing Federation, resigned as Olympic Games and Federation judge after Mayweather lost the decision, which was loudly booed by the crowd at the Alexander Memorial Coliseum. "I refuse to be part of an organization that continues to conduct its officiating in this manner," Wackerly wrote in his letter of resignation to Federation President Anwar Chowdhury. In the official protest, U.S. team manager Gerald Smith said Mayweather landed punches that were not counted, while Todorov was awarded points without landing a punch. "The judging was totally incompetent," Wackerly said. "The judges failed to impose a mandatory 2-point deduction against Todorov after he was warned 5 times by the referee for slapping." Featherweight Olympic qualification. Defeated William Jenkins, RSC/TKO 3. Defeated James Baker, RSC, SHTKO 1. Lost to Augie Sanchez, PT 11-12. Defeated Carlos Navarro, PTS 31-11. Defeated Augie Sanchez, PTS 12-8 in the box office. Defeated Augie Sanchez, PTS 20-10 in the box office. Olympic results. Defeated Bakhtiar Teleganov, Kazakhstan, RSC/TKO 2. Defeated Artur Gevorgian, Armenia, PTS 16-3. Defeated Lorenzo Aragon, Cuba, PTS 12-11. Lost to Serafim Todorov, Bulgaria, PTS 9-10, *, 1 bronze medal. Decision was protested unsuccessfully by the U.S. team. Professional career. Super featherweight. Mayweather won his first professional bout on October 11, 1996, when he knocked out fellow newcomer Roberto Apodaca in round 2. Mayweather's trainer at the time was his uncle, Roger Mayweather. His father was still imprisoned after his conviction for illegal drug trafficking in 1993. The latter took over as his son's trainer when he was released from prison after Mayweather Jr.'s 14th fight, a second-round knockout of Sam Gerard. From 1996 to early 1998, Mayweather won most of his fights by knockout or TKO. Early in his pro career, Mayweather received praise from all corners of the boxing world and was touted as a pugilistic prodigy. During his fight with Tony Duran, the ESPN commentator remarked, "Emmanuel Stewart was quoted as saying, 'There have been very few who have been more talented than this kid. He will probably win 2 or 3 world championships. I think he will go on to be the best ever.'" IBHOF trainer and commentator Gil Clancy commented before Mayweather's 9th professional fight against Jesus Chavez, "I thought that Floyd Mayweather was the outstanding pro prospect in the entire Olympic Games." Mayweather versus Hernandez. In 1998, within 2 years of entering professional boxing, Mayweather decisively won his first world title, the WBC Super Featherweight 130 pounds championship, with an 8th-round technical knockout of the ring world #1 ranked super featherweight Genaro Hernandez after his opponent's cornermen stopped the fight. It was Hernandez's first defeat in that weight class. He said after the fight, "He defeated me. He is quick, smart, and I always knew he had the speed. I give him respect. He is a true champ." With Mayweather's win, he became lineal champion of the division. Genaro Hernandez had previously beaten Ozyman Nelson, whose dominance of the super featherweight division had prompted boxing publications to give him the vacant lineal championship. Mayweather became the first 1996 U.S. Olympian to win a world title. Following his victory, Mayweather's promoter Bob Arum said, "We believe in our heart of hearts that Floyd Mayweather is the successor in a line that starts with Ray Robinson, goes to Muhammad Ali, then Sugar Ray Leonard. We believe that he epitomizes that style of fighting." Mayweather versus Manfredi. After capturing the title, Mayweather defended it against contender Angel Manfredi with a TKO in round 2, giving Manfredi his first defeat in 4 years. By the end of 1998, Mayweather was ranked by The Ring as the number 8 ranked pound-for-pound best boxer in the world, and became one of the youngest recipients of The Ring's Fighter of the Year award, 21, the same age Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali were when winning their first awards. In 1999, Mayweather continued his domination of the super featherweight division by defending his title 3 more times. The second defense of his title was against the Argentine Carlos Rios, which he won in a unanimous decision. Mayweather, fighting past the 8th round for only the 3rd time in his career, won on the judges' scoring 120 to 110, 119 to 108, and 120 to 109. Mayweather's third title defense was against Justin Juco, which he won via knockout in the 9th round. Juco could not beat the count of 10 by referee Mitch Halpern, and the fight ended in Mayweather's favor 80 seconds into that, the 9th round. His final title defense in 1999 was against Carlos Garina, with Mayweather winning in a 7th-round referee technical decision, RTD. Mayweather said after the fight, "I want to show the world that along with Oscar De La Hoya and Roy Jones Jr., I'm the best fighter in the world." This dominance did not go unnoticed in the boxing world. By the end of the year, the 22-year-old Mayweather was ranked The Ring's number 2 pound-for-pound best boxer in the world, behind Roy Jones Jr. Before making the 5th successful defense of his title against former WBC featherweight champion Gregorio Vargas in early 2000, Mayweather fired his father as his manager and replaced him with James Prince. A few months after the fight, the rift between father and son grew when Mayweather also fired the elder Mayweather as his trainer. In a 2004 interview, Mayweather said that although he loves his father, he had a better chemistry with Roger because his father had put too much pressure on him to be perfect. Mayweather, in his 5th title defense, won a near shutout over Goyo Vargas in Las Vegas. During the 10th round, when Mayweather overheard HBO announcer Jim Lampley say that the champ had switched to a southpaw stance for the 2nd time in the bout, he leaned ringside and said, "It was the 3rd time." After a 6-month layoff, Mayweather was still elusive. During the 6th round, Mayweather dropped Vargas with a hook to the ribs and cruised to a unanimous decision. Roger Mayweather returned to his role as his nephew's trainer for his next bout, a non-title lightweight fight against Emmanuel Augustus, then known as Emmanuel Burton, which Mayweather won by 9th-round technical knockout. Years later, in an interview in 2012, Mayweather would name his fight against Augustus as the toughest of his career and said, "If I was rating certain fighters out of every guy that I fought, I'm going to rate Emmanuel Augustus first compared to all the guys that I faced." Mayweather versus Corrales. In one of the more definitive and memorable fights of his career, Mayweather fought the hard-hitting, former IBF super featherweight champion Diego Corrales, 33-0 with 27 KOs. Coming into the bout, Mayweather and Corrales were undefeated, and neither fighter had touched the canvas. Mayweather was the Ring's number 2 ranked super featherweight in the world and number 7 pound for pound, while Corrales was the number 1 ranked super featherweight in the world and number 5 pound for pound. Before the fight was announced, Mayweather had stated he wanted to fight Corrales, who was facing jail time for allegedly beating his pregnant wife. "I want Diego because I'm doing it for all the battered women across America," Mayweather said. "Just like he beat that woman, I'm going to beat him." While both fighters were the same age, 23, Corrales had several physical advantages over Mayweather: 2 inches in height, an inch in reach, and, despite both arriving at the official weigh-in at the 130-pound super featherweight limit, unofficially 146 pounds versus Mayweather's 136.5 pounds. In the bout, Mayweather won every round and knocked down Corrales 5 times, 3 times in round 7 and twice in round 10. After the 5th knockdown, Corrales' cornerman climbed onto the apron and stopped the fight, thereby establishing Mayweather as a claimant to boxing's mythical pound-for-pound title. At the time of the stoppage, Mayweather was ahead on the scorecards, leading by 89-79, 90-79, and 90-78. Throughout the fight, HBO commentators analyzed Mayweather. Larry Merchant stated, "Mayweather fights in a tradition of boxing and quick-handedness that goes back in Michigan all the way to fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson." Harold Lederman remarked, "Jim Lampley, I gotta tell ya, I'm terribly impressed. I don't think I've seen an exhibition of boxing like this since Willie Pep. This kid is unbelievable. Great legs, great speed, unbelievable ring generalship. I mean, he's got tremendous presence in that ring. Floyd Mayweather knows where he is every minute of this fight." Corrales landed 60 of 205 punches and landed no more than 9 punches in a single round. Mayweather landed 220 of 414 punches. Corrales was unable to land any clean shots as he stalked Mayweather through the early rounds. He landed an average of 6 punches a round, according to CompuBox stats, the first time that a fighter registered single digits on CompuBox 20 years after it had been tracking punch statistics. After the fight, Mayweather remarked, "I would like to fight Prince Nassim Hamed. Hopefully we can meet at 128 lbs, or he can come up to 130 lbs. We can fight, or I can fight the winner of Casamayor." "Prince Nassim isn't going to fight you," intervened HBO commentator Larry Merchant, who then chuckled and added, "After he saw this, it ain't gonna happen." "I really want to fight Prince Nassim," Mayweather continued, "but hopefully I can face the winner of Casamayor versus Freitas." Although neither fight materialized, Mayweather's opponent Diego Corrales would later hand Freitas, the winner of the Casamayor versus Freitas fight, his first professional defeat and defeat Casamayor via controversial decision in a rematch of their first bout. Afterwards, Bob Arum was ecstatic about his new star. "Better than Sugar Ray Leonard," he asserted. "And did you see him at those press conferences?" The fight was met with acclaim in the boxing world and sports in general. CBS said, "Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s speed was dazzling, his power was unexpected," and the BBC reported on a near-flawless performance. The New York Daily News reported that Floyd Mayweather Jr. displaying blazing speed and punishing power, and Sports Illustrated reported a fistic masterpiece. On October 10, 2001, boxing trainer Eddie Futch died at age 90. Tim Smith of the New York Daily News remembered an encounter with the trainer in an article. "One of the last times I saw Futch was before the Floyd Mayweather Jr. Diego Corrales Jr. lightweight title bout in Vegas. Futch was talking about how much he admired Mayweather's style, how Mayweather was such a beautiful boxer, able to slip along the ropes and avoid punches. Corrales said he was going to neutralize Mayweather's hand speed by hitting Mayweather on the arms. I guess he thinks he's going to stand there and let him hit him on the arms all night," said Futch, who correctly predicted that Mayweather would completely dismantle Corrales in a defensive masterpiece. Futch had a way of cutting to the heart of a matter. "I don't know anyone in boxing who won't miss him. I don't know anyone in boxing that can take his place." Mayweather versus Hernandez. On May 26, 2001, Mayweather, fighting in his hometown of Grand Rapids, pounded out a 12-round unanimous decision over future IBF super featherweight title holder Carlos Hernandez to retain his WBC super featherweight title. Calling it one of the toughest nights of my career, the 130-pound champion overcame injuries in both hands to improve his record to 26-0. "He is a very, very tough fighter," Mayweather said of the challenger, whose record fell to the 1st of March 33. "I'm disappointed in my performance." Mayweather suffered the first knockdown of his career when he hit Hernandez with a left hook in round 6, which caused him sufficient pain that he dropped his injured left hand to the canvas. He wasn't hit, but was given a standing 8 count by the referee. Mayweather versus Chavez. Mayweather's last fight in the super featherweight division was against future super featherweight and lightweight title holder Jesus Chavez. Chavez was the WBC's top-ranked contender and came into the fight with a 31-bout winning streak. This was Mayweather's 8th defense of the WBC super featherweight title, which he had held for more than 3 years. He won when Chavez's corner stopped the fight after round 9. Mayweather had such difficulty making weight for this fight that he did not eat for 4 days before the weigh-in. Chavez stated after the fight, "He's Mayweather, and now I become his #1 fan." Mayweather commented after the fight, "Although it will take some time to make the match, I want to fight Kostya Tszyu." Tszyu, an Australian-based Russian, by then had established himself as the best light welterweight in the world. Mayweather did not get a chance to fight Tszyu, but went on to fight Ricky Hatton, who defeated Tszyu and won his ring light welterweight championship. By the end of 2001, Mayweather was still the ring #1 super featherweight and #5 best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. Lightweight. Mayweather versus Castillo. In his first fight as a lightweight, Mayweather took on World Boxing Council WBC champion and the ring #1 ranked lightweight, Jose Luis Castillo. Despite both fighters officially meeting the 135-pound lightweight limit, Mayweather came to the ring weighing unofficially 138.5 pounds to Castillo's 147.5 pounds. He defeated Castillo, winning the WBC and vacant the ring lightweight titles with a 12-round unanimous decision at the MGM Grand Garden Arena before a crowd of 6,920. With Mayweather's win, he became the first lineal lightweight champion since Pernell Whitaker. Judges Jerry Roth and John Keane scored it 115 to 111, and Judge Anek Hong Tong Kam scored it 116 to 111, a decision that was loudly booed by the pro-Castillo crowd. The Associated Press had Mayweather winning 115 to 111. The New York Daily News scorecard also had Mayweather winning 116 to 112. Castillo, the first of May 45-41 KOs, could not touch Mayweather in the first round, with Castillo throwing 27 punches and landing only 3. After round 1, Larry Merchant pointed out, "Mayweather made a comment in the corner about his left shoulder. We'll see if something's wrong with it. He seems to be rotating it, trying to keep it loose." George Foreman noted likewise, adding, "Massage my left shoulder," he, Mayweather, said. "That's not a good sign." In the first minute of the second round, Castillo went down on a shot by Mayweather, which was ruled a slip by the referee. Later in the fight, Harold Lederman alluded to it, saying, "By the way, that knockdown in the second round is extremely questionable. I thought Floyd did throw a left hook, and this guy, Castillo, went down at the end of the hook. But what you're going to do, it's a judgment call by the referee, so it doesn't go as a 10-8 round. Drakulich took a point from Castillo for hitting on the break in the 8th round after several warnings throughout the fight. With Castillo repeatedly hitting on the break, this led to a large number of his punches landing. George Foreman agreed with the decision. That's what you want a referee to do. Although his counterpart, Larry Merchant, had an alternative view. "I think this referee has been altogether too involved in the fight, too officious." Drakulich struck again in the 9th round, this time taking a point away from Mayweather for using his elbows. Mayweather won the fight by using his jab effectively and staying away from Castillo for much of the fight. Having injured his left shoulder on the last day of training, he changed to a southpaw stance on several occasions to throw more right-handed punches. At the end of the fight, Harold Lederman had Castillo winning 115 to 111. ESPN's Max Kellerman disputed Lederman's scoring, writing in his boxing column, "Harold Lederman, the HBO unofficial ringside television judge, gave the 3rd round to Castillo, which I think demonstrates that Mayweather suffers from the same scoring syndrome that afflicted Pernell Whitaker. Mayweather is so seldom hit cleanly in his face that when a clean shot is landed against him, it registers all out of proportion in the observer's mind. Meanwhile, the 3 clean shots Mayweather just landed against his opponent do not make the same kind of impression. CompuBox statistics indicated that Castillo landed more overall punches and significantly more power shots over the course of the fight. Mayweather outscored Castillo in jabs thrown and landed. Lederman's scoring for this fight may be seen as inconsistent. In both Bernard Hopkins versus Jermaine Taylor fights, Lederman had Taylor winning 115 to 113, despite Hopkins landing more overall punches and significantly more power shots during both fights. Taylor threw and landed more jabs, however. In the post-fight interview, Mayweather said, "My last training day, I hurt my rotator cuff in my left shoulder, so I couldn't use my jab the way I want to. My left wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be, but I didn't want to have no excuses, like other champions. When they get hurt, they won't even show up to the fight. I get hurt, I keep fighting, I want to bring the fans a victory." Mayweather versus Castillo 2. Due to the closeness of their first bout, Mayweather accepted an immediate rematch with Jose Luis Castillo, which took place on December 7, 2002. Before the rematch, Mayweather reiterated that he had torn his left rotator cuff 2 days before the first fight and could not throw a jab or a left hook. He had surgery following the controversial decision over Castillo and said his shoulder had fully healed. The smaller Mayweather was again outweighed by Castillo on the night of the fight. Castillo weighed 147 pounds to Mayweather's 138. In the rematch, Mayweather used his footwork, combinations, and jab to earn another unanimous decision. There were no knockdowns or notable exchanges in the fight. The judgment was close, with Mayweather winning 115 to 113 on 2 scorecards and 116 to 113 on a third. The Associated Press had Mayweather winning 116 to 112. HBO unofficial scorer Harold Lederman and fellow analyst Larry Merchant both scored it 115 to 113 for Mayweather. Mayweather versus Sosa. On April 19, 2003, Mayweather defended his WBC lightweight title in a unanimous decision over Dominican Victoriano Sosa. Mayweather 30-0 fought a tactically sound 12-round bout against an aggressive Sosa, the 2nd of March 35. Mayweather versus Ndu. Main article, Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Philip New. His next fight on November 1st of the same year was in his hometown of Grand Rapids against WBC number 1 ranked contender Philip New, whose record was 31-1 with 30 KOs. During the run-up to the fight, Nelson Mandela invited New to his office for a pep talk before his departure for the U.S., advising him to, quote, "keep Mayweather on the outside with the jab, work the body and the head will become available." South African President Thabo Mbeki, in a note, said he had full confidence New would put on a performance to make all South Africans proud and would return home with the WBC belt. When told of his opponent's high-level support, Mayweather responded, "Nelson Mandela's a great man, he's big in America, but Mandela can't get in there and fight for him." In the 5th round, Mayweather connected with a series of straight rights and lefts. When Dow would not go down, Mayweather gave a little smile and continued the barrage. He dominated his opponent before flooring him with a series of rights in the 7th round. Nadu got up on shaky legs, forcing a stoppage at 150. At times during the fight, Mayweather, in black trunks outlined with fur, seemed to toy with Ndu. By the end of 2003, Mayweather was still the ring's lightweight champion and the number 5 ranked best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. Light welterweight, Mayweather versus Corley. Mayweather, at 27, made his 140-pound debut by defeating former titleist DeMarcus "Chop Chop" Corley, knocking him down twice officially in rounds 8 and 10 and scoring a unanimous decision of 119 to 107, 119 to 108, and 118 to 108. The fight was billed as a WBC elimination bout, with the winner earning a shot at 140-pound champion Arturo Gatti. "Mayweather can flat-out fight," Corley's trainer Don Turner said. "He's like magic. He makes you move into the punches." Shortly after this fight, Mayweather would reach number 1 on the USA Today pound-for-pound rankings, with middleweight champion Bernard Hopkins at number 2. Mayweather versus Brussels. On January 22, 2005, Mayweather fought Henry Brussels in another WBC elimination bout, outclassing Brussels throughout the first 7 rounds. In round 8, Mayweather knocked Brussels down twice and the fight was stopped. Mayweather's victory made him the mandatory challenger for Gotti's WBC light welterweight championship. Mayweather vs. Gotti. The pay-per-view fight between Mayweather and the ring #1 ranked contender Arturo Gatti took place June 25, 2005 in Atlantic City, New Jersey, where fans heavily supported Gatti. Before the fight, Mayweather was confident, describing Gatti as a C-plus fighter, a fake, and a blown-up club fighter. Mayweather entered the ring being carried on a chariot to the song "Another One Bites the Dust." Gotti entered the ring accompanied by the song "Thunderstruck" and was momentarily frightened by the pyrotechnics exploding. Near the end of round 1, Mayweather pushed Gotti's head down in close. Gotti broke, leaving himself vulnerable while Mayweather continued landing punches. Gotti turned to the referee to complain. Mayweather capitalized, sending Gotti to the canvas with more shots for what was scored a knockdown. Throughout the next 5 rounds, the quicker Mayweather landed nearly every shot against Gotti, who had no offense with which to return fire. Gotti's corner stopped the fight after round 6, giving Mayweather his 3rd world title. In the post-fight interview, Mayweather praised Gotti, claiming that his pre-fight comments were just to sell tickets. To many boxing experts, Mayweather's dominance of Gotti solidified his position as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. CompuBox had Mayweather outlanding Gotti 168-41, with Gotti landing only 10 power punches, anything other than a jab. Mayweather's fight with Gotti would be his last in the light welterweight division. He would leave as the ring #1 ranked contender, with Ricky Hatton as light welterweight champion. Welterweight. Mayweather vs. Mitchell. After his fight with Gotti, Mayweather moved up to the welterweight division. On November 19, 2005, Mayweather fought a non-title bout at 147 pounds, 67 kilograms, against welterweight Sharmba Mitchell. In round 3, Mayweather knocked Mitchell down with a straight right hand to the head. In round 6, another straight right hand, this one to Mitchell's body, dropped Mitchell again, ending the fight. Mayweather vs. Judah. On April 8, 2006, Mayweather defeated Zab Judah for the IBF welterweight title in a unanimous decision. Plans for the fight had been jeopardized after Judah lost the WBA, WBC, and the ring welterweight titles to Carlos Baldemir on January 7, 2006. However, Mayweather's and Judah's camps reworked the contract and decided that the fight would go on. Judah started bright and caused lots of problems for Mayweather, and even managed to knock down Mayweather. However, it was not ruled a knockdown. But Mayweather began to dominate Judah in round 5, and the latter eventually bled. Late in the 10th round, Judah hit Mayweather with a left hand that was clearly below the belt, following with a right-handed rabbit punch. Referee Richard Steele called timeout with 5 seconds remaining in the round. Roger Mayweather entered the ring and approached Judah, but Steele restrained him. Judah's father and trainer, Yoel Judah, entered the ring as well. Mayweather remained in the neutral corner while the Judahs scuffled with Roger and others who had entered the ring until police and security restored order. Roger was ejected, and the fight continued for the scheduled 12 rounds. Mayweather won a unanimous decision by official scores of 116-112, 117-111, and 119-109. CompuBox statistics showed him landing 188 punches, compared with 82 for Judah. 5 days after the fight, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, NSAC, decided not to overturn the result of the bout. However, Roger Mayweather was fined $200,000 and suspended for 1 year. The suspension stipulated that Roger could train Mayweather in the gym, but could not work the corner during fights. On April 17, 2006, the IBF ordered a rematch between Mayweather and Judah. However, the NSAC suspended Judah for 1 year on May 8th, and Mayweather vacated the IBF title on June 20th. After his fight with Judah, it was reported that Mayweather rejected an $8 million offer to fight Antonio Margarito, citing his split with promoter Bob Arum as the reason. However, Oscar De La Hoya postponed his decision until 2007, leaving Mayweather to obtain Mayweather Promotions and choose his next opponent. Mayweather considered moving up in weight again to fight light middleweight champion Corey Spinks, but because of negative publicity and Spinks' impending mandatory defense of his title, he decided to face WBC and the ring welterweight champion Carlos Baldomir on November 4, 2006 in Las Vegas. Mayweather versus Baldomir. Despite having not lost in over 8 years, Baldomir was an underdog in the fight. Mayweather defeated him for both titles in a unanimous decision. Ringside punch statistics showed Mayweather landing 199 of 458 punches, while Baldomir landed 79 of 670. Mayweather earned $8 million for the fight. Baldomir was paid $1.6 million, career earnings highs for each fighter at the time. During the fight, Baldomir chased Mayweather, unable to land any meaningful shots but trying to be the busier fighter. Mayweather picked away with sharp jabs and hooks, cutting Baldomir over his left eye in the first round. This pattern continued throughout the fight. The defensive-minded Mayweather put on what many witnesses, and Mayweather himself, called a boxing clinic to take Baldomir's WBC and the ring welterweight titles in a lopsided 12-round decision by scores of 120 to 108, 120 to 108, and 118 to 110. After the fight, Mayweather proposed a match with Oscar De La Hoya. With Mayweather's win, he became the first fighter since Roberto Duran to have captured the ring titles in both the lightweight and welterweight divisions. Light middleweight. Mayweather versus De La Hoya. Mayweather's next match was the long-anticipated fight against 6th Division champion and WBC light middleweight title holder Oscar De La Hoya on May 5, 2007. De La Hoya's belt was on the line, which required Mayweather to move up in weight from 147 pounds to 154. However, Mayweather was outweighed by more than 10 pounds the night of the fight, coming in at only 150 pounds. Despite De La Hoya's insistence that money was not a factor, the Mayweather-De La Hoya bout set the record for most PPV buys for a boxing match, with 2.4 million households, breaking the previous record of 1.95 million for Evander Holyfield versus Mike Tyson, too. About $120 million in revenue was generated by the PPV, another record. Including percentages, De La Hoya earned $58 million for the bout, the highest purse ever for a fighter. The previous record was $35 million, held by Tyson and Holyfield. Mayweather earned about $25 million for the fight. At one time, Floyd Mayweather Sr. negotiated to train Oscar De La Hoya and be in his corner during the fight, but De La Hoya decided to train with Freddie Roach. Mayweather won the fight by a split decision in 12 rounds, capturing the WBC title. However, many analysts and ringside observers felt Mayweather should have received a unanimous decision. During the early rounds, De La Hoya had some success cutting off the ring, attempting to pound Mayweather on the inside. Despite his activity on the inside, however, many of De La Hoya's punches were ineffective and landed on Mayweather's arms or shoulders. By the middle of the fight, it was seen as an even bout by the announcers. Mayweather turned the tide in the middle and late rounds, often hitting De La Hoya at will. Official scorecards read 116 to 112 Mayweather, 115 to 113 Mayweather, and 115 to 113 De La Hoya. CompuBox had Mayweather outlanding De La Hoya 207 to 122 in total punches and 134 to 82 in power punches, with better accuracy throughout the fight. After the bout, Mayweather contemplated retirement, saying he had nothing left to prove in the boxing world. Return to welterweight. Mayweather versus Hatton. After his fight with De La Hoya, Mayweather decided to relinquish his WBC light middleweight championship, retaining his welterweight title. On July 28, 2007, it was announced that Mayweather would come out of his brief retirement to fight the ring light welterweight champion Ricky Hatton. The bout was promoted by De La Hoya's promotion company, Golden Boy Promotions, and Mayweather's Mayweather Promotions. The fight was entitled Undefeated. It took place December 8, 2007, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, the biggest welterweight showdown between two undefeated fighters since De La Hoya met Felix Trinidad in 1999. During the run-up to their fight, Mayweather claimed he was the greatest boxer ever. "I respect what Robinson and Ali did for the sport, but I am the greatest, and this is my time." Mayweather controlled the fight from the beginning, knocking Hatton out in the 10th round to retain the welterweight championship. Hatton suffered a cut over his right eye in round 3. From that point, his pace and movement began to slow. In round 6, Hatton lost a point for punching the back of Mayweather's head as he was draped over the ropes. During the 10th round, Hatton was caught by a checked left hook thrown from Mayweather's hip. After falling head first into the turnbuckle, he hit the floor. Hatton made it to his feet, but was dazed. 2 more lefts in quick succession knocked Hatton down again, and referee Cortez stopped the fight at 1:35 of round 10. Official scorecards read 88-82, 89-81, and 89-81 at the time of stoppage, all in favor of Mayweather. Retirement. After the fight, Mayweather said that Hatton was one of his toughest, most tenacious opponents. Mayweather announced his retirement from boxing to concentrate on his promotional company, saying he wanted Hatton to be his first client. Comeback. Mayweather versus Marquez. On May 2, 2009, it was confirmed that Mayweather was coming out of a 21-month retirement to fight the ring lightweight champion and number 2 pound-for-pound Juan Manuel Marquez at a catchweight of 144 pounds on July 18th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on HBO PPV. The fight was postponed due to a rib injury Mayweather received during training. HBO's sports series 24/7 was also rescheduled for August 29th. The fight took place on September 19th in conjunction with Mexican Independence Day, traditionally a big boxing weekend. During the official weigh-in for their 144 pounds bout, Mayweather failed to meet the weight limit at 146 pounds and was fined as a result. However, it was later revealed that the contract was changed so that Mayweather could make weight within the welterweight limit of 140 to 147 pounds as long as Marquez received a large guarantee. Mayweather won a unanimous decision after 12 rounds in a lopsided fight. Scorecards read 120 to 107, 119 to 108, and 118 to 109. Marquez landed 12% of his total 583 punches, while Mayweather landed 59% of his 490 total punches. This fight marked only the 5th time in boxing history that a non-heavyweight fight sold more than 1 million pay-per-view households, with HBO generating a revenue of approximately $52 million. 4 of the other fights featured Oscar De La Hoya as the main event, making this fight the one of 2 events where a non-heavyweight fight sold over 1 million PPVs without Oscar De La Hoya. The other fight was Manny Pacquiao versus Miguel Cotto, which sold 1.25 million PPVs. Mayweather versus Mosley. Negotiations for a proposed match between Mayweather and The Ring number 3 pound-for-pound Shane Mosley began right after Andre Berto pulled out of his scheduled January 30th unification bout with Mosley due to the 2010 Haiti earthquake. Both sides eventually agreed to fight on May 1, 2010, for Mosley's WBA super welterweight title. It was later revealed that Mayweather refused to pay sanctioning fees required by the WBA, saying all belts do is collect dust. However, the belt was only on the line for Mosley to defend against Mayweather. Both Mayweather and Mosley agreed to Olympic-style testing for this bout. Mosley started the fight well, landing 2 solid right hands in round 2, which caused Mayweather's knees to buckle. Mayweather recovered well and went on to dominate the remainder of the fight, outboxing Mosley and showing more aggression than in his previous recent fights. Mayweather eventually won a unanimous decision, with the judges scoring the fight 119 to 109, 119 to 109, and 118 to 110. In round 4, CompuBox found Mosley throwing 7 power punches without landing any, making Mayweather the second boxer, after Roy Jones Jr., to go an entire round without being hit by a power punch. After the fight, president of Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya, stated that he believed Mayweather was the best in the game. The fight was the second best-selling non-heavyweight pay-per-view bout in boxing history, with 1.4 million purchases. HBO reported that the fight generated $78.3 million in PPV revenue. After the bout, Mayweather expressed interest in moving up in weight to capture a world title in 6 different weight classes and to challenge newly crowned middleweight champion Sergio Martinez. Negotiations with Pacquiao. On December 5, 2009, ESPN reported that 8-division world champion Manny Pacquiao had allegedly signed a contract to fight Floyd Mayweather on March 13, 2010. However, Pacquiao denied this, stating that negotiations were still ongoing, telling Fan House there are still some things that need to be negotiated. On December 11, 2009, an 8-page contract was sent by Golden Boy Promotions on behalf of Mayweather to Top Rank, representing Pacquiao, proposing a 50-50 financial split between the sides for a fight on March 13, 2010. The contract was so detailed that it indicated who would step onto the scale first at the weigh-in, Pacquiao, who would walk to the ring first, Pacquiao, who would be introduced first, Mayweather, and who had first choice of the locker room, Mayweather. It specified that the bout would be on HBO pay-per-view at a cost of $59.95. The contract also called for both fighters to submit to Olympic-style drug testing. The fight was expected to be the largest grossing bout in history, with total revenues projected to reach $300 million. And experts predicted it would sell between 2.5 million and 3 million pay-per-views in the U.S. On December 11, 2009, in a video titled "Boxing Legend Freddie Roach Updates Us on Pacquiao," uploaded to YouTube, Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, mentioned the first hint about Mayweather's request for Olympic-style drug testing. He indicated that while they had agreed to this request, Mayweather's camp appeared to be backing away again. On December 13, 2009, Pacquiao's advisor, Michael Conch, dismissed Mayweather's request for Olympic-style drug testing as inconsequential, stating, "Our reaction is, so what? We know Manny doesn't take any illegal drugs or anything." After reports surfaced that both parties had agreed to all terms, Golden Boy Promotions released a press release on December 22, 2009, revealing that Pacquiao was unwilling to comply with the Olympic-style drug testing requested by Team Mayweather. The next day, Bob Arum, Top Rank founder and CEO, declared the fight was off, citing Mayweather's insistence on drug testing as a tactic to derail the fight. Arum later set a 24-hour deadline for Mayweather to accept their terms, which included 3 blood tests, one in January, one 30 days before the fight, and one immediately after the fight. Arum claimed that the USA Day's procedures were too invasive and insisted on using another independent agency. Both sides eventually agreed to enter mediation on January 7, 2010, with retired federal judge Daniel Weinstein acting as mediator. However, negotiations broke down 2 days later when Mayweather refused to compromise on the 24-day cutoff date for blood testing. Mayweather subsequently announced that all his future fights would include random drug testing. After the failed negotiations, Pacquiao went on to defeat Joshua Clottey on March 13, 2010, while Mayweather beat Shane Mosley on May 1, 2010. The fight between Pacquiao and Mayweather remained elusive for several more years, with disputes over drug testing and financial splits continuing to be a major obstacle. Return to the ring. Mayweather announced via Twitter that he was set to fight WBC welterweight champion and the ring number 2 ranked welterweight Victor Ortiz on September 17th. Ortiz was Mayweather's first challenger in 16 months. The fight took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. From round one, Mayweather used his speed, skills, and accurate right hand to tag Ortiz repeatedly. Mayweather seemed in control through the first 3 rounds. Judges' scores were 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for Mayweather. In the 4th round, Ortiz had some success, landing a few shots and stinging Mayweather before bullying him into the corner. He then rammed Mayweather in the face with an intentional headbutt, opening a cut on the inside and outside of Mayweather's mouth. Referee Joe Cortez immediately called timeout and docked Ortiz a point for the blatant foul. Ortiz, apparently acknowledging his wrongdoing, hugged Mayweather in the corner and even appeared to kiss him. Cortez motioned the fighters back together to resume the fight without putting them in a neutral corner. Both fighters touched gloves, and Ortiz gave Mayweather another hug. At that moment, Cortez was not looking at the fighters. As Ortiz let go, Mayweather took advantage of Ortiz not having his hands up and unloaded a left hook, which wobbled Ortiz. Ortiz then looked at the referee, and Mayweather connected with a flush right hand to Ortiz's face. Ortiz fell to the canvas and was unable to beat Cortez's count as the crowd of 14,687 jeered Mayweather. After the fight, Ortiz claimed that he was merely obeying the referee's instructions when he was blindsided by Mayweather, who defended his actions by saying that, in the ring, you have to protect yourself at all times. Mayweather vs. Ortiz was purchased by 1.25 million homes with a value of $78,440,000 in pay-per-view revenue. These numbers make the event the second highest grossing non-heavyweight pay-per-view event of all time. Mayweather has appeared in the 3 biggest non-heavyweight pay-per-view events in the sport's history. Mayweather vs. Oscar De La Hoya, $136,853,700. Mayweather vs. Ortiz, $78,440,000, and Mayweather vs. Shane Mosley, $78,330,000. Return to light middleweight. Mayweather's advisor, Leonard Ellerbe, announced on November 2, 2011, that Mayweather would return to the ring on May 5, 2012, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. After negotiations with Manny Pacquiao failed again, on February 1, 2012, it was confirmed that Mayweather would be moving up in weight to fight WBA super welterweight champion and the ring #1 ranked light middleweight Miguel Cotto. The WBC put their super welterweight diamond belt at stake. On the evening of Saturday, May 5th, Mayweather defeated Cotto in 12 rounds by a unanimous decision, improving his record to 43-0. Mayweather used movement and outboxed Cotto in the middle of the ring for the first few rounds. Beginning in rounds 3 and 4, Cotto cut the ring off from Mayweather, forcing the latter to fight from the ropes. However, Mayweather seemed to outfight Cotto from the ropes with his combinations and by rolling with most of Cotto's punches. Cotto had more success in the middle rounds, landing his jab and body shots on Mayweather and effectively trapping him on the ropes. The later rounds were controlled by Mayweather, who boxed more in the center of the ring late in the fight. In the 12th round, Mayweather's uppercut stunned and hurt Cotto, but Cotto was able to fight until the end. The judges scored the fight a unanimous decision for Mayweather by scores of 118-110, 117-111, and 117-111. After the fight, Mayweather said Cotto was the toughest fighter he ever faced. CompuBox had Mayweather outlanding and outworking Cotto in the fight by a significant margin. Mayweather landed 26% of his total punches, 179 out of 687, compared with 21%, 105 out of 506 for Cotto. In power punches, Mayweather landed 128 of 382, 34%, compared with 75 of 329, 23% for Cotto. Mayweather earned the biggest guaranteed purse in boxing history, $32 million when he fought Cotto, according to contracts filed with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The Mayweather-Cotto fight generated $94 million in PPV revenue from 1.5 million purchases, making it the second biggest non-heavyweight fight in history, after Mayweather's fight with Oscar De La Hoya. Return to welterweight. Mayweather returned to the ring on May 4, 2013, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena to face the WBC interim welterweight champion, ring number 3 ranked welterweight, and the WBC's mandatory challenger, Robert Guerrero. This was Mayweather's first fight since being released from jail, and was the first time Mayweather has fought on Showtime PPV after a long relationship with HBO. Mayweather was guaranteed $32 million for the fight. The fight took place in front of 15,880 at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Prior to the fight, Guerrero had not lost in 8 years. The first couple rounds were fairly even, with Mayweather attempting to counter and time Guerrero, while Guerrero was attempting to drive Mayweather to the ropes and make it a rough fight. After the first couple rounds, Mayweather was in complete control, almost hitting Guerrero at will with right-hand leads, counters, hooks, and effectively timing Guerrero the rest of the fight. Mayweather won the fight on all 3 scorecards, 117 to 111. Mayweather outlanded Guerrero 195 punches to 113, which included a rare 60% connect on his power shots. Although no official tallies are reported, according to Showtime sports executive Steven Espinoza, the fight had exceeded 1 million purchases in PPV. Catchweight. Mayweather confirmed via Twitter that a deal was reached to face ring number 10 ranked pound-for-pound WBC and WBA super welterweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez in a championship bout on September 14, 2013 at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. A catch weight of 152 pounds was established for the fight. Mayweather received a boxing record $41.5 million for the Alvarez fight, according to Leonard Ellerby, Mayweather's confidant. In front of a sold-out crowd of 16,746 at the MGM Garden, Mayweather defeated Alvarez by majority 12-round decision. In a fight that many thought was going to be Mayweather's toughest, he outclassed the younger Alvarez. Many observers at ringside thought Mayweather won all 12 rounds. Judge C.J. Ross scored the fight 114 to 114, a draw. Judge Dave Moretti had it 116 to 112, and Craig Metcalf scored it 117 to 111. Judge Ross retired after this fight. Speaking of the controversial scorecard, Mayweather said, "I can't control what the judges do." CompuBox stats showed Mayweather's dominance in the fight, landed 232 of 505 punches, 46%, and 117 connected of 526 thrown, 22% for Alvarez, who earned a base purse of $5 million. Return to welterweight.
Despite interest in a bout with Amir Khan, Mayweather announced that he would fight 30-year-old Marcos Maidana, 35-3, 31 KOs, on May 3, 2014, in a unification bout at MGM Grand Garden Arena, with Mayweather's WBC and the Ring welterweight titles at stake, as well as Maidana's WBA welterweight title. Maidana won the WBA title in December 2013 against Mayweather's friend Adrian Broner. Mayweather tweeted the news the day after his 37th birthday.
The Barclays Center in Brooklyn also made a case to showcase the fight.
Mayweather explained why he chose Maidana. Marcos Maidana's last performance immediately brought him to my attention. He is an extremely skilled fighter who brings knockout danger to the ring. I think this is a great fight for me, and he deserves the opportunity to see if he can do what 45 others have tried to do before him: beat me.
Maidana was a 12-1 underdog going into the fight. In front of a sold-out crowd of 16,268, in what was one of his toughest fights, Mayweather won the bout via majority decision, with scores of 114-114, 117-111, and 116-112. Maidana came out aggressive and maintained that stance throughout the fight, forcing Mayweather to engage.
CompuBox revealed that Mayweather was hit more times than any of his previous 38 bouts that have been covered by them.
Mayweather landed 230 of his 426 punches thrown, 54%, while Maidana landed 221 of 858, 26%. Many times in the fight, Maidana threw shots at different angles, forcing Mayweather against the ropes. According to Mayweather in the post-fight interview, Maidana's aggressive approach made him change his style of fighting.
Maidana was guaranteed a purse of $1.5 million, which would also include TV revenue from his native Argentina and PPV share. Mayweather earned a minimum $32 million. There were calls for an immediate rematch. Mayweather said, "He put pressure on me, and that's when I decided to fight differently," Mayweather said. "I stood there and fought him. He's a good fighter. I take nothing away from him. This was a tough, competitive fight. This is what fans want to see. I want to give fans an exciting fight. Normally, I box and move. Tonight, I gave fans an exciting fight." Maidana felt he won the fight, believing he gave Mayweather his toughest fight ever. Speaking through a translator, he said, "I definitely think I won." Floyd had never been hit by a man before. "I had to change the gloves after a last-minute problem with his original gloves on Friday, and I still gave him a great fight. He did dominate some rounds, but the majority, I dominated them." For the sequel, Mayweather earned a minimum of $32 million, and Maidana earned a career-high $3 million. The fight generated around 900,000 PPV buys, although exact figures were not released by Showtime. The revenue of PPV sale amounted to $58 million. The live gate grossed merely $15 million, putting it at number 5 in the top 35 boxing gates. Mayweather vs. Maidana 2. On July 10, 2014, Mayweather made the announcement that a rematch with Maidana, 35-4, 31 KOs, was confirmed. The fight was to take place on September 13, 2014, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, with Mayweather's WBA Super, WBC, and the Ring welterweight titles at stake, as well as Mayweather's WBC light middleweight title. The fight was billed as Mayhem. In front of 16,144 at the MGM Grand, Mayweather defeated Maidana via unanimous decision. Unlike the first fight, Mayweather came out better prepared for Maidana's style. The final judges' scores were 115-112, 116-111, and 116-111. ESPN scored it wider for Mayweather at 119-108. Mayweather did not allow Maidana to land any overhand right, with the punch stats showing Maidana connecting 128 of 572 shots, 22%. Mayweather had 51% connect rate, landing 166 of 326. A bizarre moment occurred in round 8. Whilst in a headlock, Maidana appeared to have bitten Mayweather's left hand. Mayweather explained this in the post-fight. "I didn't know what it was. Something happened and then my fingers were numb. After the 8th round, my fingers were numb. I could only use my other hand. He bit me. I realized he bit me. We were tangled in the middle of the ring and all of a sudden I felt something on my left hand." Maidana denied the bite. "Maybe he thinks I'm a dog, but I never bit him. He was rubbing my eyes that round. He may have had his glove in my mouth, but I never bit him." After round 9, Maidana appeared to be confused as he started walking towards the wrong corner. Mayweather immediately ran towards him to point to his corner, much to the amusement of the crowd. Maidana was unhappy with the final verdict and thought he won the fight. If the judges want to give the fight to fighters that run, they can give it to him. I was attacking all the time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that I was the aggressor. I kept my plan to be aggressive, but he kept holding and pushing. I don't want to waste my time with a third fight. I trained with all my heart to get this type of result. This is not fair. There's not reason for another fight. For the sequel, Mayweather earned a minimum of $32 million, and Maidana earned a career-high $3 million. The fight did well on PPV. A reported 925,000 households bought the fight, generating $60 million. The live gate grossed nearly $15 million, putting it at number 5 in the top 35 boxing gates. Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao on May 2, 2015 at MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas after several negotiations spread over years.
Mayweather dictated the pace early, controlling range with the jab. His deft movement and pivoting made Pacquiao consistently miss, landing only 19% of his punches.
Mayweather was able to counter Pacquiao with his right hand throughout the fight and won via unanimous decision, with the scorecards reading 118 to 110, 116 to 112, and 116 to 112.
The vast majority of media outlets, 16 of 18, scored the bout in his favor. Many observers felt the match failed to live up to expectations. Pacquiao told the media after the match that he was limited in the fight due to an injured right arm.
Sports Illustrated reported that Pacquiao fought through a torn rotator cuff in his right shoulder, which will require surgery.
Bob Arum revealed Pacquiao's injury to have been a persistent one dating back to 2008. Mayweather, who originally had no plans for a rematch with Pacquiao, told ESPN's Stephen A. Smith in a text that he would be open to a rematch after Pacquiao recovers from shoulder surgery. However, as of May 9, 2015,
Mayweather stated, "Did I text Stephen A. Smith and say I will fight him again? Yeah, but I changed my mind. At this particular time, no, because he's a sore loser and he's a coward."
On July 6, 2015, the World Boxing Organization, WBO, stripped Mayweather of his welterweight championship because he was not permitted to hold titles in multiple weight classes and because he failed to pay a sanctioning fee. Second retirement.
Mayweather confirmed through Instagram that he would defend the WBC, WBA Super, and the Ring welterweight titles against WBA interim champion Andre Berto on September 12, 2015 at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The announcement received some backlash due to Berto being 3-3 in his last 6 fights. Many felt he wasn't a credible opponent. Welterweight contender Amir Khan was said to be disappointed with the selection. Berto believed Mayweather chose him as his final opponent for personal reasons, which could date back to when he won the National Golden Gloves tournament. Mayweather was able to pinpoint holes in Berto's guard and find a home for the jab early. He landed sharp counters and feint hooks while controlling range for the vast majority of the bout. Berto pushed the pace, but his aggressiveness fell short as Mayweather was highly mobile and closed the distance consistently. Mayweather won the fight via unanimous decision 117 to 111, 118 to 110, and 120 to 108. Mayweather dominated the fight, landing an impressive 56% 232 400s punches thrown compared to Berto's underwhelming number of 17% 83 490ths punches landed. Early industry sources reported the fight drew 550,000 buys. Later sources indicated the number could have been as low as 400,000 buys, generating $28 million. This was the lowest number of buys Floyd had generated in over 10 years. The fight also gathered a crowd of 13,395, also a decreased figure compared to Mayweather's previous fights. Mayweather announced his retirement in the ring after defeating Berto, walking away from the sport with an undefeated record of 49-0. The WBC declared his welterweight and super welterweight titles vacant in November 2015. Second comeback and third retirement. Mayweather versus McGregor. The idea of a Mayweather comeback floated around April 2016, as rumors of Mayweather Promotions filing for trademarks of TBE 50 inches and 50 Turkmenistani Manats hinted that Mayweather might have been targeting that 50th win. This was confirmed by posts from the U.S. Patent and Trademark website. Around May 2016, another rumor started that a crossover fight between Mayweather and MMA star Conor McGregor was in the works. On May 7, 2016, Mayweather confirmed that he was the one who started the rumors regarding the potential clash. Mayweather followed it through with an Instagram post of an unofficial teaser poster showcasing both fighters. Dana White dismissed all the rumors and stated that Mayweather had yet to contact him in case he wanted the fight to push through, since McGregor was in contract with the UFC. On January 13, 2017, White continued his stance against a Mayweather-McGregor boxing matchup and insisted that, because of McGregor's contract, it would never happen, and even went as far as offering Mayweather to box McGregor in the UFC for $25 million. On March 7, 2017, Mayweather urged McGregor to sign the contract, hinting that a fight was really in the works. On March 10, 2017, Mayweather stated that only a fight with McGregor would make him come out of retirement. On March 16, 2017, Dana White backpedaled on his stance against Mayweather fighting McGregor and said that he would not deprive McGregor of making a massive payday. On May 18, 2017, McGregor reportedly agreed to all of Mayweather's updated terms and signed the contract.